Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! What's going on, Descendants and Zombies universe? I'm your host of the Descendants and Zombies podcast, your voice of Descendants and Zombies, Jonathan Clarke, the only guy on YouTube who provides you with great commentary, seemingly about Descendants and Zombies, who knows everything there is to know about Descendants and Zombies, and I couldn't be more proud to be in your guys' presence to once again offer you conversation and thoughts on Descendants and Zombies. We all want to know when Zombies 5 is going to happen. I understand how frustrated many of the fans of Descendants and Zombies must be about this, because everybody is offering predictions about how Zombies 5 is going to happen, what the release date is going to be for this, but it's important to know that Zombies 5 has never been officially announced by Disney. Now, while it may have never been officially announced by Disney, one could be left with the impression that Zombies 5 is going to happen with the approaching of that vortex to Seabrook. And I, for one, am incredibly excited to see what is inside of that vortex. So the question is, why put this vortex at the end of Zombies 4 Dawn of the Vampires if you weren't going to do Zombies 5, if that was never going to be followed through with? I mean, this is so stupid. How people tried to convince us that Zombies 5 is never going to happen. I read this rumor just before I jumped on this podcast this afternoon about how Zombies 5 has never been officially announced by Disney, so we should be led to believe that Zombies 5 is not going to happen. Give me a break. Can we please just give somebody hope that Zombies 5 is going to happen? I mean, why do you think they put all these new characters into the franchise from out of nowhere, with no story, with no backdrop? I mean, it's obviously to tell us a new story and have a new take on Zombies 5, and with how much Meg Donnelly and Milo Manheim have had zombies mean to them for forever, obviously they're going to do everything within their power to secure the future of the franchise, regardless of what's inside of this thing. And I just want to put it out there, if Disney's looking for somebody to jump inside of this vortex to uncover what's inside of it, I don't care. I'll jump inside of it. I'll be the first one to jump inside of it for you guys. Because you guys have deserved a guy on YouTube to actually give you hope about the future of Zombies 5, and I just would never be more honored to jump inside of this vortex, even though the vortex is associated with doom. I know. I'd be the first guy to jump inside of it because I've always believed that you guys deserve better. And for those of you who believe that Ruby Rose Turner is seeing their exit from the Descendants franchise, I don't think we should ever believe or buy into that either, because Ruby's time was very short-lived with the Descendants franchise. For those of you who have been subscribed here for forever, you know I'm the biggest fan of Ruby Rose Turner. I have the biggest crush in the world on Ruby Rose Turner, and I have forever missed her. I've been crying my eyes out ever since Ruby made the announcement she was parting ways with the Descendants franchise. Ruby, where'd you go? Obviously, Ruby Rose Turner was somebody who had a very short time with the Descendants franchise, but that didn't go without saying or noticing that she really loved being a part of a franchise that had meant so much to her ever since she was a child. Both herself and Kylie felt inspired by Descendants and Zombies, and I think that because they felt so inspired by Descendants and Zombies, they should be given more of an opportunity to live out their dreams. That's why I want to put it out there that I want to be the writer and producer of Descendants and Zombies, even if Disney will consider selling me the franchise, because I think there's a whole lot of creative energy that could be brought forth for Descendants and Zombies to give people like Ruby Rose Turner more of a chance, to shy away from the critics who believe that Ruby Rose Turner's time was in fact very short-lived. And while many people believe that, I don't think we've ever seen or heard the last of Ruby Rose Turner, and one should never believe that. Because I'm not just saying this because I'm the biggest fan of Ruby Rose Turner ever, and I think that she's incredibly beautiful, she's incredibly gorgeous, she is full to the maximum with potential and talent, and could have been a wonderful addition to the Worlds Collide Tour this summer, because initially going into the Worlds Collide Tour, I thought Ruby was going to be a part of it, and then fans were having conversations with Kylie Control during Kylie Control's meet and greets where she was telling people that Ruby was no longer going to be a part of the Descendants franchise, and my heart was broken. Because I've always believed that you guys deserve the best. You guys always have deserved a 5-star production. And great reviews about Descendants and Zombies. You're going to have to forgive me because I really do believe in you guys. Because you guys are some of the most supportive fans in the entire world. And all you've ever wanted is somebody to support your theories and your predictions on Descendants and Zombies and how much you've loved these franchises. And I want to let you guys know that forever how long these franchises exist, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that these franchises last for forever and they don't go anywhere anytime soon. Because as Disney fans, all we've ever wanted is something to believe in, to hold on to for forever. And when you think about it, Disney really has never given us something to hold on to for forever, because stars of the past who provided voiceovers for iconic characters like Mickey Mouse, Aladdin, the Beast, Belle, the Little Mermaid have come and gone. And they've never really given us anything to hold on to when you talk about High School Musical, Hannah Montana, because it felt like being caught up in the moment with Hannah Montana and High School Musical, those franchises were going to become so revered. And unquestionably, they did become so revered, but never because they lasted for forever. They just kind of faded off into obscurity. And while it will be always and forever argued that High School Musical was the most revered and most successful franchise of all time, and if not for its profound success, every other project that Disney ever thought of would have faded off into obscurity, you can't honestly convince me that, if not for High School Musical, Descendants and Zombies would have never happened. Because let me just put it to you this way. Descendants and Zombies was a powerful representation of everything that life truly means to a person. And it represented every character that Walt Disney had ever put in front of us, from Mickey Mouse to Rapunzel to Snow White to Sleeping Beauty to The Little Mermaid to Belle. The list goes on. I've seen every Disney character inspired through the eyes of someone like Kylie Cantrell, and for sure Ruby Rose Turner. Even if you couldn't find something for Ruby to do in present-day Wonderland, you could have easily repackaged her character, because I've seen this done for many organizations that I've worked with over the years. I've had a lot to do with entertainment. And when they couldn't find something for a character to do, they would repackage the actress into something different. I've seen this done many times. So you could have easily took Ruby Rose Turner out of the franchise as Bridget and had her reprise her role as Rapunzel, or Rapunzel's daughter even, with how passionate she was about the Tangled franchise. For those of you who don't know, one of Ruby Rose Turner's favorite characters of all time, always and forever, has been Rapunzel, and I just want to let her know that I support that. And I really loved how she said, with an open heart and an open mind, that she would have loved the opportunity to portray Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled. But forever and always, the conversation seems to revolve around the reoccurring theme of how everybody's convinced that Sabrina Carpenter is going to be the live-action Tangled. As much as I've loved Sabrina Carpenter for forever, and if there was one guy in this world who loves Sabrina Carpenter, it is this guy. I think that Sabrina Carpenter falls into the category of being overrated. She became overrated very quickly, and I think it's overshadowing the contributions of people like your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars, because everybody wants to see Sabrina Carpenter as the live-action Rapunzel. Now, reportedly, production on Tangled has slowed down because of Snow White's flop in the box office, because of all the controversy that Renee Zellweger received for the portrayal of Snow White. And after seeing all the videos that you guys were showing me about that, I can understand why. I mean, it was a horrible representation of what Snow White truly was, or meant to be. I think there were a lot of people that could have done a far better job than what Renee Zellweger did, and with how she was just terrible at this portrayal. So obviously this has everything to do with why reported production of Tangled has slowed down. But if it picks up again, I'm going to be center stage, especially if Ruby Rose Turner comes in as one of the candidates to portray Rapunzel. Because I never saw somebody, I say this because I've never seen somebody bring a character to life with such energy as what she did for Bridget and Descendants. And that's why I give Ruby Rose Turner a profound amount of respect for how far she's come in such a short amount of time. You take how far Ruby has come in such a short amount of time in projects like Orange is the New Black and Coop and Cammy Ask the World and their Descendants, and how proud she was to be a part of the franchise. For every bit of PR that Descendants The Rise of Red had, Ruby was there. And she was so kind to everybody who had a question for her, and every amount of PR, however long it took them, Ruby answered every single question with an open heart and an open mind. And every opportunity she had to bring that character to life and become the best of all time, she did. So I think that just taking her out of the franchise using the excuse that time travel was no longer needed because it was going to focus on present-day Wonderland did not mean that you couldn't find something for Ruby to do. Even if you gave Ruby an opportunity to portray a different character, even if it wasn't Rapunzel, you could have easily found something for Ruby to do. Or you could have went back in time in the first 5 minutes of the movie to save Ruby from obscurity and bring her back when all hope seemed to be lost. Because I really do believe that there was something for her to do. There will forever and always be something for her to do in the Descendants franchise, and I'm just going to miss her. As excited as I am to see Liamani Segura coming in to play Red Sister Pink, that's going to offer a lot of confliction, make it more unpredictable than ever before. And I think she's really going to do a fabulous job because I do love Liamani just as much as I do Ruby. Wait a minute, come to think of it, I think I love Ruby more. Because Ruby inspired me to be a better person, to be kind to people, to spread this message of kindness on YouTube. I think I do love Ruby more. But even as much as I love Ruby, I do have a lot of respect for Liamani Segura, and I do look forward to meeting her next summer. Because I think this character is going to be someone who is going to share the spotlight with so many wonderful people, and not only bring the best out of herself, but as I've said many times, when it comes to people like Ruby Rose Turner, she's going to bring the best out of everybody she worked with. And I think this is going to be a tremendous opportunity to create more storylines than ever before, and see the introduction of so many wonderful characters into a franchise that we never thought they'd ever be a part of. I really like how they're bringing in characters from Princess and the Frog. For those of you who have never seen Princess and the Frog, who have never watched it, because I do know there are fans out there who watch this show that may have never watched the New Orleans musical, Princess and the Frog, it is a beautiful representation of just how far kindness can go in this lifetime, and how one can really find true love. The Princess Tiana, the first African-American princess that Disney ever attempted to put out there and distribute, was so fabulously done. I've been a fan of The Princess and the Frog for at least 15 years, and I'm really excited to see what they will do with it and what kind of opportunities they'll make the most out of. And if they in fact will have Tiana be played in this, it's really, really amazing how Disney draws inspiration from some of its instant classics. Because maybe I'm just saying this because I remember being there on the night of the premiere of Aladdin back on Thanksgiving night 1992. Or when Beauty and the Beast made its theatrical premiere in 1991. It was really amazing. When Aladdin premiered on November 25th, 1992, I never felt so honored to be a part of something. It almost felt like I was a part of a red carpet premiere. And now knowing that Descendants is drawing inspiration from all these wonderful characters played by these beautiful girls, it's really amazing. And I can really understand and feel sympathetic towards people who feel like as if they're caught up within a moment. So, as a result of, knowing what it's like to be each and every one of you being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, I have never ever wanted to create a video to discourage you from your hopes and dreams, or anything ever happening or becoming of Descendants and Zombies. Because if anything, I wanted to create videos for you where you felt inspired, knowing that Zombies 5 would happen. Knowing that Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, regardless of what its release window looks like between now and next summer, will happen. And it will be the greatest Descendants movie of all time. Because I can say that with 100% confidence, that this will be the greatest Descendants movie of all time, regardless of how the critics feel about it. I just wish that people just wouldn't watch these critical videos about your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars. This has had a profound impact on people because, in all honesty, I think people are the best of friends because of Descendants and Zombies. People feel more inspired. People want to sing. People want to dance more. People want to post more YouTube videos. Take full advantage of the time that we're allocated, which is something that I forever promoted on this YouTube channel, because the most precious thing about time is time always runs out, and it never fails to do so. So because it never fails to do so, we have to make the most out of every opportunity we have and the time that we are allocated, because it runs out. And the thing about time is we never know how much time we have. So the question is, what would we do with that time if we could go back in time and have more time to spend with the ones we love? Will we tell them more that we love them? Will we support them more than we ever have? Will we just get lost in the moment? I've often wondered that. And that's something very valuable that Descendants and Zombies has always taught us. So to take time travel out of the equation for Descendants and take characters like Ruby Rose Turner away from the franchise and make her feel all sad and depressed, I really think that there's always the opportunity to bring time travel back into it. There's always a need to have it be necessary, especially with all the consequences now that Red and Chloe are going to face, and finding out if Happily Ever After was really all they wanted. That's the thing about Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland. It is a really, really eerie theme because we don't know what to expect. But it's also a really exciting time to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because one can't expect to mess with the consequences of time travel and not expect consequences. That is the thing. Truer words have never been spoken by China Anne McClain or the Mad Hatter, because he warned Red about the consequences that she could face after going back in time. She wanted to alter it to fix her mother's mistakes, or find out the answers to the questions that she had. Kind of like how Melody wanted to discover the lineage of her mother's legacy as the Little Mermaid when she was kept away from her for forever, about how her family was a mermaid and she herself was a mermaid. So, you look at all the stories behind these classical stories that Disney has put out over the last, dare I say, 50 years. There's nobody on YouTube that can convince me that they're running out of ideas for Descendants of Zombies. I mean, they're introducing mermaids into the Zombies franchise, so there could be a chance that perhaps Nova has a history of being a mermaid. Maybe there's a history of being mermaids in her family. Who knows? Because the interesting thing about the characters that have been recently introduced in the Zombies franchise is we don't know that much about them. All we know is that they met each other in their dreams, and after seeing each other in their dreams, they finally met. And as the story unfolds, we could see a history of how Nova has a history tied into mermaids. Or perhaps even Malachi Burton, portraying Victor, has a history tying in with pirates, because pirates have also found their way into the conversation, and I go for either. And like I just said, if nobody else is going to volunteer to jump inside of this vortex thing, even though it's associated with doom, I will more than be obliging to be the first guy to jump inside of this thing. Come to think of it, I would love to go out in a speedboat with Nova and jump inside of this thing and find out for you guys what's inside of it and come back on my show and tell all of you. Because in all honesty, I've never felt so intrigued by a script for either Descendants or Zombies, because there are so many moments yet to be created. Given all the moments that we have forever and always cherished, that will forever and always hold a special place in our hearts, I just wish more people on YouTube would offer encouragement about what's going to happen. Because all we're watching on YouTube is AI. That's the reality we're faced with. It's all AI videos, probably created within 5 minutes of Descendants footage, that are making us believe that this is going to happen, and everybody wants to see everybody turn evil in the movie, and I just wanted to give you guys hope, because that's all Descendants and Zombies was created to do, was to give you guys hope, to finally be that one franchise that would stand the test of time. In light of all its criticism, it would make people like Kylie Contrell, Dove Cameron feel stronger than ever before, and they most certainly have every right to feel that way, especially after the performances they gave us at the Worlds Collide Tour. 5-star production hands down. For the contributions of Malia Baker, Kylie Contrell, Ruby Rose Turner, and these forthcoming characters that could share the stage with them by the time Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour happens, which is something I'm really happy about. Obviously, what they're waiting on for Leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour to happen and touch down are the new songs to be added to the soundtrack, because they just can't keep performing the same songs over and over again, more especially songs that were never written for them to sing before to begin with. Because songs like Chillin' Like a Villain and Dove Cameron's song If Only will forever and always belong to them. But I do give them a profound amount of credit for singing songs that were never specifically written for them. Beautiful representation of songs like Someday, If Only, gorgeous. And I think that the future of the Worlds Collide Tour, when you look at Leg 2 and you think about it, going overseas to Germany, Australia, and parts of the UK, this is going to be an emotional time for everybody, because I don't think Kylie Contrell has ever seen this exposure or ever been a part of anything quite like this. So that's why I'm really excited about it, and I'm really thrilled and honored to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies to help you make sense of this. But I just wish more people would stop listening to the critics about Descendants and Zombies, because the last thing I ever wanted to do was create videos on YouTube that would show you criticism about your favorite Descendants and Zombies stars, whatever moments of the franchise you remember. Because if you remember one specific moment from Descendants or Zombies that you fell in love with, I'm here to tell you there's nothing wrong with it, because I had countless moments of Descendants and Zombies that I forever and always fell in love with. Vampire TV has always had a consistent habit of following me everywhere I've went in my lifetime. I was a big fan of the Vampire Diaries, True Blood, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I'm just as big of a fan of this now, in a generation where kind of vampires and werewolves and their stories have been forgotten about. So Disney is trying to reignite this in our hearts, and they're doing a fabulous job with it, because you can never be too sure if your boyfriend is a zombie or a werewolf. Trust me, you can never be too sure, because I've been in some of the most weird situations in my lifetime that I've tried to forget, but they always reoccur inside of my heart, remind me of how I used to think my girlfriend was a vampire, how I thought I lived with a werewolf for forever and always. Trust me, one can never be too sure. And if that gives you reason to believe that Zombies 5 will happen, I don't think anything will. Guys, I really do love talking about Descendants and Zombies, and I can really talk about this for forever. So it really is the greatest honor of my life to create all these wonderful videos inspired by Descendants and Zombies for each and every one of you. I think if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to do that, because this YouTube channel will forever and always be here talking about Descendants and Zombies for each and every one of you, showcasing it for its value, showing a greater appreciation for your favorite Descendants and Zombies stars. For me, what did it was seeing Kylie Contrell cry on YouTube videos, and it was just, it was really heartbreaking to me, because this girl was only 19 years old at the time. She just turned 20 about 3 months ago, and it was the greatest honor of my life following her career, because while people were saying that Disney would never see stars like Hannah Montana or Selena Gomez ever again. I really believe that these stars should have been given more of a chance. And if there was one guy on YouTube who supported them, it was this guy right here. And I really put a heart and a half behind people like Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrell because I just wanted to, as I just said, give them a chance. And I wanted to let them know that everything was going to be okay. I think the reason why Kylie Cantrell, gets so emotional about how critics feel about her is because that's all she's ever known. And I just want to put it out there that any guy that can't see what a true value of a girl's worth is just doesn't understand how all a girl ever wants to do is make a guy happy and make everybody in her life happy, really. And the quicker that a guy understands that, the better off this world is going to be. Because I think that a lot of guys tend to forget how a girl just wants to make everybody in her life feel happy, and that's all Kylie Cantrell's ever wanted to do. And we saw that at the Worlds Collide Tour when she came out on stage every single night and just wanted to make everybody happy. Everybody that was in that venue, she wanted to put a smile on their face. And I think she accomplished that. So I don't think she deserves to go home every night on YouTube and see a review of her performance about how it let this guy down who lives with his mom. I mean, I don't see the value or appreciation in that. If you're going to talk about Descendants of Zombies, talk about Descendants of Zombies in a way that it puts a smile on the face of the person who's watching the video, who knows, okay, this guy knows what's up. I'm going to hit his subscribe button. And there have been a lot of girls who have hit my subscribe button because they do see the good in these videos and they do know that I do know what I'm talking about. Because I really do love talking about Descendants of Zombies. I love being here, right here with you, talking about Descendants of Zombies for its true value. And even though people will forever and always try to convince us that we'll never see Zombies 5, that Ruby Rose Turner will never return, even to the point where Dove Cameron will never reprise her role as Mal in the Descendants franchise, one should never buy into or believe what the critics are telling you, because if you buy in to what they're telling you, you're drinking their Kool-Aid. And I just don't want you to have to do that. This YouTube channel will forever and always be here for each and every one of you. Every single person who ever believed in the franchise as much as what I have. A year ago, all I ever wanted to do was show up on YouTube, promise you Descendants of Zombies videos, and I, for one, regardless of the quality or the message behind every video, like to believe that I did that. And I will do it again tonight before I sign off for the final video. Because I really do believe that there can never be enough good things said about your favorite Descendants of Zombies stars, regardless if it's about the Worlds Collide Tour, regardless if it's about Descendants 5, Zombies 5, which we're forever hearing rumors about. And I really do believe that Zombies 5 will happen, because they wouldn't have put the vortex in at the end of the movie if it wasn't going to happen. We don't know what's inside of the vortex, and it could be something completely different from our predictions. But again, if I ever encounter a vortex, or I can jump inside of this one, just to find out what's inside of it for you, you better believe me, I will. Because I really do believe that Descendants of Zombies fans have deserved a lot better than what they've been seeing on YouTube. And I really do miss Ruby Rose Turner being a part of a franchise that has meant so much to everybody. I really do. I can never seem to say enough good things about Ruby Rose Turner because Ruby's just so extraordinarily special to me. And I want you guys to know that I will forever and always be supportive of every single person who's ever said proudly they are a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And I will forever believe that Descendants of Zombies have deserved better in the way of reviews for what feels like forever, or must what feel like forever for everybody, because the majority of the videos you're watching is either AI or reaction videos, and nobody ever commentates on Descendants of Zombies. I would go as far to say as I'm the only guy on YouTube to ever talk about Descendants of Zombies for its true value. And even if I am the only guy on YouTube to ever talk about Descendants of Zombies for its true value, it means the world to me that I was able to do it. I know that I like to have a lot of fun with these videos, and I like to say, crazy things about predictions that I may have for Descendants of Zombies, but, I mean, you have to have fun with it. But the way you have fun with talking about Descendants of Zombies is you don't discourage anybody's hopes or dreams, or you never take it away from anybody who ever had a hope or a dream about Descendants of Zombies ever amounting to anything, because I really do believe that Descendants of Zombies has meant so much to everybody's hearts, and I just wanted to be that guy to give it to you. I just wanted to show you the appreciation for Descendants of Zombies that you guys have deserved for a very long time. So if you'll do me the honor of allowing me to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies for just a little while longer, however long that is, I promise you that this YouTube channel will have a video every single day for the rest of my life. That was the very first promise I made to you on my very first video over a year ago, and I've fallen through with that promise. And every day there will be a video uploaded about Descendants of Zombies, regardless of how the critics feel about it. I do believe that we have never seen the last of Ruby Rose Turner. I think there is more of a story yet to be heard from every character in Descendants of Zombies, and more empathy to be shown to them, and more respect to be given to them, because there's never enough respect shown for your favorite Descendants of Zombies stars. And I want to be that guy to give that to you, and I want to be that guy to give that back to them that seemingly has been taken away from them by everybody who's ever reviewed Descendants of Zombies. Guys, I love you so much. Please hit my subscribe button. Please hit my like button and join me on this incredible journey that you've had me on for forever. It's been an honor to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies. I love you guys. We will talk again in just a few hours from now, with more coming from me on Descendants of Zombies, like there is every day on this YouTube channel, because it's Descendants, Zombies, or die.